guess what? You don't have to take out student loans to go to college. We're going to talk about that coming up.
Stay tuned.
Hey guys, we wanted to talk to you about this topic because it is a problem. I mean, the numbers don't lie. Statistics show that people have over $1 trillion in student loan debt, and it is really crippling an entire generation of people. People are deciding whether or not to become homeowners, whether or not to start a family based on the student loan debt that they have in their life. And so it's like, enough is enough. We got to do something about it. So we wanted to kind of talk to you kind of about our story a little bit, because between the both of us, we have 4 college degrees, never once took out a student loan for any of them. And we also want to kind of bring some resources to you all, because some people are just not informed. Sometimes we go through the system and our counselors are just pushing student loans as if that's the only option, like there's nothing else that we could do. And so we kind of wanted to debunk some of that and try to give some options for you to think about, and even some alternative methods to help you stay away from student loan debt, or even help others in your life stay away from student loan debt.
Yeah, you know, the reality is everybody does not have to go to college, right, in order to be successful. I mean, there are a lot of self-made millionaires right now, all online, you know, and does not require a degree for the most part. So you have to kind of start there with the, you know, with the questions. I highly encourage to start having the conversations early on, you know, with your children. If you have children, have the conversations very, very early so there won't be any surprises, and also so you can come up with a plan. That's actually how my family actually approached myself. I am one of 5 children, and I do have an identical twin sister, and so I and my twin sister were both entering college at the exact same time. Talk about the amount of money, right, that would cost. So I will never forget, I remember driving, I could tell you the street that my mom and my sister and I were driving down when my mother said these words to me. And I felt like, you know, my whole world came shattering right before my eyes. She said, "Hey twins, just want you all to know, you all might want to start thinking about college on your own, as far as putting yourselves through college, because that's something that I did. I had to pay for myself through college, and we're expecting you guys to do the same." I was like, huh? Wait, what? Wait, what, Mom? You know, I had dreams of going away to school, you know, and I was just like, wow, I thought that every kid, you know, after they graduated, goes away to school, and hey, maybe these student loans, you know, are paid by their parents or just magically paid. But that's really where the conversation started first for myself and my twin. My mother having the conversations with us. And you know what? It was a hard reality, right? It was a hard knock. It kind of like took me back a couple of steps, but it also prepared me for my future. So then I had to start thinking, okay, what are my plans? I knew that college was definitely in the cards for me. That was something that I definitely wanted to do, hands down. But I had to start looking at my options, you know, and so I started to look at the schools around me. I realized that, hey, if I'm going to be paying for school for myself, I'm going to have to probably stay in state. And so that's what I did. I narrowed down the searches. I stayed in state, but guess what? I still went to a very, very prestigious college. And I was able to do it, guys, completely debt-free, all on my own. I was 18 years old entering to college, and I actually sold shoes in a shoe store, in a department store in the mall, okay? And I remember I had to go to work almost at least 5 days a week, and usually it was after school, and I would have to go to work and sell shoes to, you know, bring in this money so I can pay for college. And let me tell you all, it was a lot of long nights. You know, there were times when
didn't die.
No, there were times when I came home, you know, from work. First I went to school, then I went to work, then I would come home and have to write a paper. And sometimes my mother would be leaving out, or my father would be leaving out to go to work. It would be 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up at the computer still typing, you know, and I'm sure that probably pained my parents, as I'm sure it pains a lot of you guys. But let me tell you all, if you give this responsibility to your kids, let me tell you that it can be done. As a matter of fact, I actually was able to appreciate, you know, my journey of going through college, because that was something that I worked hard for, you know, and I knew that if I was paying for it, hey, you better believe I'm going to try to get these good grades, because I don't want to have to redo a class over to pay for it again. And so that's exactly what I did. You know, there are other things that I also did in order to pay for my school. One of them, I bought used books. All of my college books were used. I bought it off of a website called half.com, and I believe that site is still up and running years later.
I think it's an eBay company now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that was something that I did. And there were times when I started class and I did not have the book right away on the first day of school, because usually, you know, you find out what books you need sometimes on the first day or even the day prior to the semester starting. So there were times where I would have to go to the school's library to actually rent out, the book just until my book came in. But hey, I figured out, hey, I got to do what I got to do, and that's something I did, and I'm extremely proud. Another thing that I did, I actually did not finish college in 4 years like the most typical, students. It actually had to take me 5 years because I was paying for it on my own. And let me tell you, I didn't complain about it. Hey, it took me an extra year to do it. I also took the summers to actually go to a community college where I looked at the classes that I had to take. And then I also looked at my local community college, and I took the classes there, the same exact classes there, for if not half the price, at least a third, of the price. And my credits transferred over to my university, and then I was able to finish school in 5 years.
Yeah. For me, I took an alternative path towards my college education. I went into the military, and I was an active duty soldier, and as a result, I was able to be a part of some programs, the Montgomery GI Bill, the Army College Fund, and things of that nature that fully paid for my degrees. So some people are like, well, I don't feel like working 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to the military, and I don't want my kids to do that type of stuff either.
But what was the conversation that your parents had? Like, what caused you to go into the military?
For me, I don't even know if it was necessarily a conversation, but the fact of the matter is, my shoes are from Payless. The fact of the matter is,
everybody doesn't know what Payless is.
Payless is a discounted shoe store.
Yeah,
you don't buy Jordans from there, you buy Pro Wings from there. And so, mom shopped discounts, clearance, things of that nature. So it wasn't like they ever told me like we can't afford to pay for college, but it was just me internally knowing I don't want to be a financial burden to my parents. And so I was like, man, what can I do as an alternative that I can handle this on my own? And upon investigation, man, the military just made sense for me. My dad was in the military, so it wasn't that far off from the way I was raised. And so it just made sense. But some of you all might want some other options for yourself or some other options for your children. And so we're going to move into some resources that could help you along the way. Everything that we are about to mention will be linked down in the description box below, so you can get all of this information down there. The first thing we want to tell you about is a pretty awesome website that helps people to search for scholarships. It's called myscholly.com. They have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of scholarships. Because I think a lot of times we think that scholarships are this mythical unicorn that is out there that nobody ever gets. So I've heard of a scholarship, but do people actually get these scholarships? Yes. Now it does take work. You do have to apply. Sometimes you got to write essays and you got to go through some different requirements to get it done. But it's better than the alternative of spending 20 years paying off student loan debt. You can take a couple of these applications a day. Your son or your daughter can take a couple of these applications a day and really come out by the time they're ready to go with a lot of their education paid for through scholarships. Go on myscholly.com. It's giving you this information, it's giving you these tools, it's giving you these resources, but it's up to you all to make this happen.
Yeah. Another resource, hey, let your children work. It does not hurt them. I actually remember when I was in school, I had some colleagues or friends of mine who parents were adamant, no, you can't work. I'll take care on the responsibility. And I get it, as a parent, you want to make sure, no, I want to make sure that my children are totally focusing on their school. But the reality is, not all children, not all kids are focusing on schoolwork, okay? And also, too, I felt like you kind of need to have a little skin in the game, in my opinion, to actually appreciate the process and to actually, put forth, a lot of work in regards to achieving these good grades so you can finish school. So definitely have your children work. And I'm not saying they got to work full-time jobs. I never worked 40 hours a week, while I was in school. It was at least 24 hours a week, I would say. And let me tell you, I'm so grateful for those humble beginnings because it definitely taught me a lot of work ethic. I actually felt empowered. When I walked across that stage and I received my degree, it was like, I did it. Like I was the first out of my family in regards to like my siblings and things like that to actually walk across the stage first, and I did it. And I felt so good that I did it completely debt-free, and I knew that I was like entering into my future without having this burden of debt on me. In the beginning we shared the stats with you guys in regards to in the United States alone, the student loan debt is $1.3 trillion. Imagine that type of burden. that a lot of people are walking around with. And out of that 1.3 trillion, 2/3 of it is women. They carry that amount of debt, and I'm like, hey, I'm happy that I was able to finish, completely debt free. And I'm not like throwing it in people's face and things like that, because I know that there are some times in some situations where maybe people, they have to get maybe a small loan to supplement. But we just hope that you guys take this advice, take these resources that we're sharing, and at least try to apply them.
Another resource we want to give you is Raise.me. And this is a micro scholarship website. That means that if you or your child has a particular college in mind that they definitely want to go to, and if they're listed on this database, they have a list of micro scholarships that are available for doing activities and hitting certain benchmarks while you're still in high school. For example, a school might give a certain scholarship if you participate in a certain club, or if you show leadership in a certain way. And if you do that and you upload the documentation to this website, boom, college scholarship money for this particular college. Another free resource that you should definitely put the effort into researching. Raise.me.
Another awesome resource is that of collegebacker.com. We recently interviewed the founder, Abby Chow, of collegebacker.com. We'll make sure that we'll have the interview in the description box below. You want to definitely take a listen to it because it was great. Like, this is a platform that will actually provide you with a personalized link for your child or even for yourself that you can share with family or friends. You can put it in birthday invites. I mean, it's really like modern day fundraising, I would probably say, and I love that idea. I love that. And you get this personalized link that you get to personalize on your own personalized URL. And it's great. So you can give it out to family and friends when it's your children's birthdays or Christmas or holidays or whatever, or just on any occasion. And people can actually start to fund and start to build your child's college funds.
And another resource we want to give you is actually a book. It's called The 5 Mistakes You Cannot Afford to Make in College. It's written by Anthony O'Neill, who is part of Dave Ramsey's team, and he's an all-around great guy. And he is a wealth of information around preparing for college. And his book is amazing, and it is packed with even more resources, again, to help you. You got to get this in your mind. You got to allow yourself to believe that you don't have to take out student loans to go to college. And if you go into this book with that mindset, you're going to come away with some great takeaways to help you get to that position even sooner.
Yeah, and another tip that I would also offer to you, especially for those who have children, that are not in college currently, but that's definitely in the future. You want to try to foster, their creativity, what they're good at now. Because too often, students go to college and what happens? They change their degree. Mm-hmm. I actually changed my degree within the first year because I took a finance class that I fell in love with. I'm like, hey, I want to major in finance. But how about you try to do all of that work, the legwork, ahead of time? Like, we have a child that's very, very creative, and in our mind, she says, Mom, I want to just paint canvases, when I get older. That's what I want to do for a living. And you know what? I believe that she is going to do that. I believe that she can. So right now, we're trying to look into programs that will foster that. So when it is time for school, we're not wasting a lot of money, or she's not wasting a lot of money on, just trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to do? So preparing ahead of time is very, very important.
Also, if you have children that are high school age, you need to be on top of them and their guidance counselors in regards to AP classes or advanced placement classes. Because as a result of going through these classes while they're in high school, they can take a test at the conclusion of this class, and if they pass it, guess what? They get college credits, and they get it at the high school tuition price. In addition, tons of high schools have what's called dual enrollment programs, where they spend a portion of their day in the high school setting and a portion of their day connected to a local community college, taking community college classes, getting college credits. In a lot of instances, if you play your cards right, your child can graduate high school not only with a high school diploma, but in a lot of instances with their first year of college already knocked out without costing you any extra money.
Yeah. Another thing that you also want to do is check with your current employer. A lot of times they have special incentives that will provide, college sometimes completely free, or maybe a couple of credit hours out of pocket where they would take care of it. But then there are also different professions and different occupations that would also allow your children to go to state schools for free. This information is not always told to you up front. It's something that you definitely want to dig a little bit deeper to find, but definitely ask the questions. Go to your human resource department. Say, hey, do you guys have any college incentives, any type of incentives for my kids going to college, or even myself? Maybe I want to, go up the ladder as well too. So definitely find out. The money is definitely there. So we want to hear from you guys. Leave us a comment in the comment section below and let us know what are some creative ways that you were able to pay for college or pay for school, or maybe you just heard about it from somewhere else. Sharing is caring. We love that. Also, guys, definitely please share this video. Share it on your platforms, because trust me, one thing that I can probably tell you that a lot of people, or majority, everybody has in common is school, right? Whether it's themselves or their children or somebody that they know will possibly be going through college. So definitely help somebody out. Share this information, and all of the links will also be in the description box below.
For more information, you can always head to hisandhermoney.com, where we have a plethora of resources there to help you on your journey. That's all we got for this time, guys. It's been great. Until next time, peace.
Bye.